Hello and welcome. I'm Stephanie Fernstark. I'm inviting you to look in between with me and remember the numbers of Metatron's cube. When I say remember it, it's because I believe this must have been known, but it's not in the searches that I do online. I paint, and earlier this year, as I was painting the fruit of life, the image to the left, I had asked the universe in my mind or thought, I wonder what those circles are numbered or what sequence of numbers those circles would have. And that's what's unfolded. Sacred geometry to me is the symbolic meanings given to these shapes, the ratios, proportions, as reflections of my connection with the universe. So I think we all have our own ideas about what an image or a shape can mean personally to each of us. That's part of what I meant as being a creator being, that we get to define life as we go. I was surprised that I'm not finding this online. In the transmissions, I do not claim authorship. I am the receiver. The information is original because it returns to the origin, the all. Ideas shared have an intent to connect us in joy for the betterment of all. I mentioned that I believe I'm a creator being. That's something that I realized over the past several years. The magic happens in the liminal space, the moments between the moments in my surroundings. Here's where I play with the universe and find synchronicities. There are many keys and clues to be found. I had done a couple of queries pretty much every month since I found out this number system and sequencing. And as I said, I have not found that online, so I think we're remembering it. I checked with Google because I think that's one of the strong search engines, and I also checked with the Architect Plus using tokenized data. And what I received is that there were the 13 circles that I mentioned, that the lines can be drawn between the centers of those nodal points, which reflect things like the geometric shapes of the 5 platonic solids. There are a lot of triangles then that can be counted from those and grids. There was a 369 association that someone noted, and also Archangel Metatron is associated with the 1111. I have also seen 1212 as another number associated with Archangel Metatron. It speaks of a 2D to 3D bridge, and with the 3D, it speaks of 16 spheres. I'm going to give a new perspective. I see 15 spheres, and we'll show that. And then it does talk about some Earth correspondences. If you want to pause the screen and check anything out, please do. Otherwise, I will continue. This is going to be the center point, an obvious dot, and yet sometimes for years, I have gone even days, weeks, or months having one perception of something, and then it isn't until new information comes or I see something in a new light that I change that. That's what's unfolding here for me. The center point is important because it's the 0 point. It will be the point in which all the numbers emit out of. Once that shifts from say 0 to 1, then the center point becomes the 9 point, and that holds strongly. We would see that in the corresponding matrices as well. My fourth video will be on matrices. Metatron's cube is possibly a 2D, 3D view of our matrix. I think it may serve as a basis in that a quantum manifold is a space defined by a set of quantum points. That's what I've started to glean from all of this. And we see there are layers indicating the sides of the cube as I've pulled it apart, as it were, to indicate that. And then there is the 0, 9 point in the center, as we spoke of earlier on the other page, and it starts to unfold in the 3D. I believe that Metatron's cube is also the hypercube in a 4D version that we can kind of get a glimpse of now. If we count the circles or spheres, we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Since it's been split apart into being an example of two sides of a cube, that's where we see the 14th and 15th circles. Here is another reflection of a 2D image that we think of as Metatron's cube. And with that, we see the sequencing start to unfold. And we are not yet seeing the chirality in this. We see a low to high number sequence, and we will also note a diagonal number sequence. So low to high, we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If we were going clockwise, we would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and we would expect a 5. It is important that the 5 flips in order to continue the low to high number sequencing. So we would see the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Again, center point in 2D is only showing us one little point. And there's a lot going on in there with the double threes and double sixes, 0 and 9. And we would also see a diagonal number sequencing. So all the numbers that are across from each other have the sum total of 9. So we have the 1 and the 8, the 2 and the 7, and the 4 and the 5. Here we start to see some magic and chirality happening. So if you're new to the concept of chirality, again, I'm learning a lot as I go with Metatron's cube. Chirality is coined from the Greek word chire, hand, and it means an object cannot coincide with itself. Think of your hands palm to palm. In that, we are seeing that the numbers are chirals. If we go the 1, 2, 3, 4, then it flips or mirrors, as it were, to a 3, 4, 1, 2. So we have a chiralic effect. And then the same thing, we see the 5, 6, 7, and 8 with the mirroring as 5, 6, 7, and 8, so a reflection of each other. I have included one more slide to point out the importance of that center point that we have often just seen as the 2D when it's actually a 3D reflection of a lot going on. Here we see the numbers in the fruit of life populated, and we see the 6, 6 and the 3, 3 chirality. So the number sequence to me is exquisite and elegant simply because it's beginning to give us a glimpse of the mathematical magic and intelligence. By that I mean starting with a 0 point that we don't see, it holds everything within to populate those numbers in 2D and in 3D. We have the low to high number sequence shown 1 to 2, 3 to 4, utilizing one of the threes. Then we have the 5 to 6, 7 to 8, utilizing another one of the sixes. And then we step back, and I noticed that if you add the adjacent numbers, it will give you a trilogy of either sixes or another trilogy of threes, or alternating if you want to say sixes and threes. So if we take the 1 and the 2, it will give us a 3. If you take the 1 with a 5, it gives us a 6. And this is using digital roots, which means if you have a digit, a number longer than one digit, you would add those and come up with one digit. For instance, 12 1 plus 2 equals 3, which is our 5 and 7 right here is 12, so we have a digital root of 3. We have the 7 and 8, which is 15, digital root of 6. We have the 8 with a 4, which is another 12, digital root of 3. And then we have the 4 and the 2 as our 6. Now, as I said, it populates itself and has everything within. So if we go back and we take that 2 with the 3, we have 5. If we take the 6 with the 1, we have 7. If we take the 3 and the 5 together and add them, we have 8. We go back to digital roots on this one. We have a 7 and a 6, which is 13, so we have digital root of 4. We have 8 with a 3, which is 11, so we have a digital root of 2. And we have the 6 with the 4 is 10, digital root of 1. So it has given us everything we needed. And we can think of this as either a nested cube, a cube within a cube, or we can think of it as a spiraling out of the cube. It seems to have some direction because you will see the inner cube kind of shifts outward as in a spiral. And I thought that was fun to see. Looking within, we see our inherent nature is intelligence. We are a consciousness of love, compassion, joy, and unity if that's what we choose. I'm sending a note of appreciation to Matthias De Stefano, who shared Metatron's cube in a video in 2017. However, the universe just lined me up with a copy of that as my journey into sacred geometry started about a year ago, summer 2025, and everything has appeared for me too in the unfolding of this. I have mentioned that this fruit of life has a corresponding matrices, and also I have found some hints that other people throughout history have probably known about this. We don't know what anyone else thinks or if it was just circumstances, but I am going to share that in another video as well as the next one's really fun. There's a new way to draw the cube without using the center nodal points. So please watch that.